My understanding of the award is that it's I think it's called the Menneken Prize for Scientific Achievement here at NPS. So it kind of looks at my research over the time that I've been at NPS and evaluates kind of the impact on science and engineering, in particular with relevance to the Department of Defense and sort of making scientific and engineering and mathematical advancements that could further the DoD mission. My research largely focuses on sort of taking numerical methods to, we want to simulate the physical world. We want to simulate weather. We want to simulate earthquakes. We want to simulate climate. We might want to simulate the ocean. And what we want to do is we want to build numerical tools that we can use that we can then hand to engineers and scientists to carry out their research. So CLIMA is a joint project between the Naval Postgraduate School, Caltech is the lead institution, we have the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and we also have MIT. And each component, each of those labs and universities is handling different components of the project. At NPS, what we're largely doing is driving the infrastructure, or at least not so much the infrastructure anymore, but more the numerical methods that are being used. We've built out a lot of the base software that everybody else is building their components on top of. So we're sort of bringing to the table the mathematics and some of the computing tools. Overall, it's a multi-year project, and I think that sort of we're kind of lined up hopefully in the next year to hit some of our first milestones. I don't know I think as long as the funding's there and as long as the interest is still there, the project will keep going in some form. But, hopefully within the next year, we'll be starting to do some of this machine learning on top of fine-scale simulations, I think is the vision. And I think, being a distributed team and also being a team of academics, it's not like, our only job is not CLIMA. It's not like we're just developing software and numerics for CLIMA. We have other roles as faculty members. We teach, we do these things. And so sometimes the lag time can be painful for some folks because, maybe our schedules are different, or, maybe I can't devote as much time to the project this quarter because I'm teaching as I could a different quarter. So I think we're beginning to work through some of these growing pains, and then also just kind of figuring out the overall communication hierarchy can be. I think one of the things that I've learned a lot from Frank Giraldo here at NPS about is when you get involved in one of these big projects, you need to really sort of lay out what are your expectations, what are your deliverables, and get these things down in writing, so that you have something to go back to and say, like, oh, this is what we were trying to do. This is what we promised we were going to do. Obviously, these goals and things change. Deliverables change, as the project evolves. If we knew what we were doing from the beginning, it wouldn't be interesting research. NPS is unique compared to a lot of other universities in that, at least in the math department, we don't have, we have a handful of grad students, and so a lot of the work that we do is done by us as the faculty members. I would like to sort of thank the people that have sort of made this, nominated me for the award. So that would be Frank Giraldo and Carlos Borges have put me up for the Menneken Award, and I appreciate their sort of dedication to me as a faculty member, as a young faculty member, and sort of really seeking to make sure that I'm engaged in research and funding and making sure that my research has DoD relevance. And also Wei Kang, who's currently the chair of our department, he has done a lot to sort of promote me as a researcher, and I have really appreciated that.